What is up, everybody, and welcome back to a new video. For today's video we have Olaf in the jungle, and this isn't your regular game that I've been uploading, with cuts and more so about gameplay and kills. This is really to portray the player base that is in the Wild Rift. You have games where a lot of people are really nice, really calm, but then some games it's just outright like disgusting, and this game happens to be one of those games. And I really want you to pay attention to the Renekton in the Baron lane, as right here we did start off our red buff and we didn't get a leash, so our time to clear and make it up is a bit slow as Irelia manages to kill Renekton. And I want you to pay close attention right there, because Riven wasn't even involved in that kill. So Irelia managed to pick off Renekton. 1v1, right? 1v1. She won the fight, as Akali does pick up Lux kill, right? Again, one-on-one. Like, Riven didn't even do anything. So right here I do pick up my blue buff, and they are looking to invade the River Scuttle. So I'm pinging for my team to come help me, and just look how long it is by the time they react. So I'm still pinging. I'm still letting them know, hey, they're here. So Riven is here, and a fight does break out. Now, all in all, this is just completely, my fault. Like, I was already at 50% health. So, but I mean, just, look at the Renekton and the Lux, just, they just weren't paying attention. But that's not the issue, right? So to me, I was more concerned about, like, okay, you know what, that was just completely my fault. I definitely could have played that better. I definitely could have done things better. Maybe I should have just backed out, go for the River Scuttle, right? So that's what was going on in my head. I really wasn't, really blaming the Renekton or anything like that. It was just like, okay, no, that was my fault. Of course, I was a bit, frustrated and mad. Like, man, what took them so long to come? As Akali does kill Lux again. So that's 2 kills on the Lux, right? That Akali manages to get by herself. Like, Riven was not there. There was no, it wasn't a 2v1 situation. She didn't get any help. So right here, again, I want you to pay attention to the Renekton in the Baron lane. As right here, I try to make my way over. I see that Riven is very low. So I try to do something, try to make something happen, but it's just unfortunate events. Like, Amumu still had his ultimate. I do manage to pick him up, but again, in the Baron lane, Irelia manages to pick up Renekton again. Now, Riven was here and I was here, so it was a clean, fair one-on-one situation. But look at the behavior that Renekton does as soon as he responds. After that, they just completely just threw the game, forgot about everything, and just wanted to destroy the entire game for me. As soon as he died in the Baron lane, the second time, right, that he died just there when I tried to gank bot lane and managed to pick up a kill on Amumu, he died 1v1ing Irelia fair and square, right? There was nothing that I could have done there to help him. I was already at bot lane and I died. And as soon as he responds, he just types GGFF jungle noob. It was just, it's kind of just very, very frustrating that, there are players that literally just go out of their way, way and forget about the entire game in general, just to sabotage like your game, and he really just went out of his way to ruin everything. He went for my blue buff, then he went for my Raptors, then he went for my Wolves. It was just, and it wasn't like, it was just very, I don't know what words you could say, disgusting. It was just unbelievable. As right here, we go bot lane and we do manage to pick up 2 kills right here. I mean, 3 kills actually. We managed to pick up 3 kills in general. So To me, I'm like, okay, maybe we can go for the Drake, but it was just a bad decision. I was already super low, and Akali just pops her head out, flashes, and, you know, she managed to pick up the kill, right? So again, like, another fault on my part. Completely, I'm just like, oh man, that was kind of stupid by us. But pay attention to the Lux and the Renekton. At this point, they were just gone. You know, they were just started talking nonsense in the chat, and right here, you know, I'm just going back and forth with Renekton. I was like, man, why are you trying to ruin the game? And at this point, right, he just forgot about his lane. He forgot about what his job was in the game. He just completely threw it and started, you know, taking everything. And to top that all off, they weren't even like a terrible player, as right here, right? Yeah, you'll see it. He wasn't even necessarily a terrible player that just didn't know, you know, what he was doing or anything like that. It's like he knew the mechanics and how to play, but he just went out of his way to ruin the game, not just for me at this point, but for everybody. He was ruining it for Lux, Galio, and Jinx. And to this point, I was just like, okay, this is just unbelievable. This is, you know, it's super annoying. And throughout the entire time, you know, he was just backporting, resetting, and just stealing everything, you know. And at this point, I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Right? He's taking all my XP, taking all my gold. Any opportunity he gets, he's going for it, you know. As Akali picks up another kill on the enemy, on our friendly Lux, and they pick up the Rift Herald. So at this point, everything's just looking terrible. You know, it's looking bad. But what even made it worse was the fact that the enemy team, they weren't even that like good. They were not that strong. They were not that good. And you'll see later on in the game, you know. And don't mind right here, you know, I'm just telling him, I'm like, man, if you're gonna play like this, just don't play at all, you know. Like, it's understandable to have a bad game. Let's say if you're 1v1ing Aurelia and you're 0-4, right? Say you're feeding her. But if you're going back to your lane, you're trying to catch up, you're trying to do your best job, right? That you can do as a player, even though you're behind a lot. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But to go out of your way, you know, and go take my red buff, my blue buff, my farm, any chance you get, is just pure, like, just I don't know what to say as well, you know. Like, again, any chance he gets, and he's in the Baron lane, he's supposed to be on top, right? But he just completely forgot about everything and just went out of his way to ruin the game for everybody. You know, going AFK might have been easier, you know, because now he's actually like doing it. And right here, I'm just following him because I'm just so like mad at this point, just pissed off, you know. I'm just like, man, I cannot believe that there's actual human beings that think that what they're doing is you know, good. And like I said, he's not even a bad player, right? And their team, the enemy's team, like, look at the gameplay. They weren't even that good. You know, they weren't the best team. It's not like we were sucking and had internal problems, and the enemy's team was just stomping on us. This was just overall like a terrible game, and you know, matched up against, you know, terrible players, man. You know, not terrible players, but terrible people, I would say, you know, because he wasn't a terrible player. He was actually pretty good, but he was just, you know, terrible personality, terrible attitude. And again, you know, he died right here, and he was just, I mean, on and on throughout the entire game. You know, it was just non-stop. As right here, we do lose the team fight, so of course you can think what he was saying. You know, he was saying all type of nonsense, man. Just this and that jungle, this and that jungle, this and that team. It was frustrating, man, because I was trying to do my best to just stay focused on the game, try to, you know, get as much jungle as I can, buy some items, you know, try to carry the team, try to do my best, right? Because I was thinking throughout the entire time, like, man, we could win this. We honestly could win this because they're not the best. They are legit not the best team, right? So they weren't even doing that well. So right here, my red buff spawns, so I'm just going for it as the Cloud Dragon does spawn up. But look at the Renekton, man. It's just unbelievable, you know, the type of like attitude and behavior these players have. You know, it's just sad, but I guess you have to have it some way, right? It doesn't matter. So we managed to pick up the Cloud Dragon, which is nice. We managed to get a dragon, as they did get the Ocean Drake. The Ocean Dragon probably is much better than the Cloud Dragon because of the lifesteal it gives. As right here we get in a 1v1 fight with Irelia. Not sure if we can. Do we die? Do we pick her? Oh, a red buff does manage to pick her off. So like I said, right? They're not the best, right? They're not the best team. They're not the best team fight people. But it was just internally, like, we were just having problems. And the Renekton just, like, he just didn't care, man. So all these little moments you see that we're just stopping, you know, I'm just kind of typing to him, like, man, just don't ever play the game again, you know, if you're going to play like this. Just, okay, if you have a bad game, why in the world are you trying to go out of your way to sabotage the game for everybody? And at this point, it wasn't just for me anymore, right? Because he's ruining it for Galio, because he's cutting out my XP, he's cutting out my gold. So therefore, like, to gank or to buy my items is just making it bad in general. And right here, I mean, you see it, you probably know what he's doing. Hide in the bush, type in the chat. What a loser, man. But you'll see, you're honestly gonna see more as well as to, like, what people are. I don't even know what, you know, they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish, what they're going through. You know, it's just, at a certain point, it's just kind of sad. You know, so we're trying to do our best. We're just trying to stay focused on the game. But man, it is difficult. It is extremely difficult to, you know, stay focused and locked in on these type of games, you know, because from beginning to end, it's just they're just calling you out, saying this, saying that, you know, jungle this, jungle that. You know, like, I'm trying my best. Like, I really am. You know, I'm trying to help my team as much as possible. I'm trying to gank as much as possible, but it's just sometimes it's just difficult. And right here, just look at the Lux, man. I kind of lost motivation at that point. I was like, okay, I thought you were just gonna help me maybe, but she literally just stole it. And then right here, I go for the blue buff, and of course, what do you think? Yep. Just out of nowhere, like, I was like, I didn't even want to smite, you know, and then here I was just like, and she knew what she was doing, you know, they knew what they were doing. They were trying to, you know, ruin the game even more, right? But what makes it even worse is, like, all this is going on. I'm like, man, we could easily win this game if our team would just focus and forget about everything else. So as you can see here, a team fight breaks out, and we managed to pick off some kills. So we managed to pick up a kill on a Mumu, and we managed to pick up a kill on Kai'Sa. And then Riven comes right here, and we do manage to pick up another kill. Oh, maybe we don't. There, Kali does come, so we managed to pick up a kill again. We aced them. Well, not ace, but Irelia is up. So right here, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know what? I'm not mad. Lux took the red and blue. She made good use of it. But look at the Renekton. Like, what is he doing? It's like complete, just trying to. I don't know. You know, I'm done. But hopefully, you know, this video is just brings some light to this situation. That if this ever happens, you know, just report them, because recently The reports have been working. I've actually like read about it. I've looked into videos that people have actually been getting banned for doing these type of antics. So if you ever face these kinds of issues in a game, just report them. Foxy and Final Tang. What a bunch of losers. But hey, I do hope you enjoyed.